All right, shalom, shalom on the start, but giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash. I want to say and give double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders, a great millstone for teaching us his word and truth and sincerity and truth and well. Salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching and prophesying in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, I'm the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another lesson, and this lesson is on this article that you see right in front of you, and it's entitled "If He Wins." It's from the Time magazine. Now, what stuck out to me was a couple of things in this article, which pinpoints that this dude Donald J. Trump, he's under his rule. Jacob Trouble is definitely going to be lifted up off the ground, and Jacob Trouble is something that involves you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, the children of Israel. Okay. And it's a part of the judgment of the Lord, but the elect is going to be saved out of it. All right, and this dude, all signs are pointing to this guy. You know, all you got all these people making a big deal about Kamala Harris becoming president, and all of these damn sorority bitches jumping up and down, strolling, acting like this woman is going, she's going to be the second coming of whoever, you know. But it's not going to happen. Now, I got this sign up here. I mean, this poster up here because this was actually from a show called Upload, and they basically was pushing this whole Kamala Harris thing in 2024. But they got her with Oprah, right? But just showing you that things are put in plain sight. All right, this is from a show called Upload right here, and on the show they had this image as a poster, and the show is set in the future, but they said in 2024 Oprah and Kamala were the president and vice president, right? But that's not going to happen because this dude right here, this dude Trump, he's a guy, man. All his policies that he's wanting to set up are geared toward Jacob's trouble, and that's what it says in this article, and I'm going to read it in a second. But first and foremost, I'm going to get a couple precepts. This is the book of Daniel 12:1. It says, "In that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince that standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book." Right? And everyone that's written in that book, which is the book of life, is the elect of Israel. All right? But the time that's coming particularly to this country, as well as to the earth, it's going to be like a time that you've never seen before. And this guy right here, his policies are geared to destroy Jake, all right, as well as the simple of his own people, and the Super Elite going to use this man to do that because they believe that they're the Most High. And that's why they got something called the right and the left, all right? But the Most High rules in the kingdom of men. He sets things up. It's not Esau. It's the book of Daniel 4:17. Daniel 4:17. Okay, and it says, "This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and a demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the basis of men." All right, so it's not these Edomites appointing themselves to power. The Lord set them up. In the NLT it says, "For this has been a decree by the messengers, which were the messengers of the Lord. It is commanded by the holy ones, so that everyone may know that the Most High ruleth over the kingdom of the world. He gives them to anyone he chooses, even to the lowliest of people." Man. And at one point, these Edomites, they were physically low, right? And they're the basis of men, but nonetheless, they were physically low, and now they're on the top, all right? And the Lord ain't gonna use this black. She's not even black, bro. This monster come all over her Harris. No, she ain't it, Chief. And but it's cool because it gives you people hope. But this dude right here, his policies, and it all comes out in this article from Time magazine. It says how far Trump will go, right? And then in the front of the magazine it says, "If he wins." Okay, this man, through his draconian measures that he wants to implement when he get into office, it ain't gonna be looking good for you. And it wouldn't look good for you under no Kamala Harris either. Because she ain't got you Israelites' best interest. And the nigga woman, she just following her because she thinks she's so-called black. So that's what they want, you know. But it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. You liberals are not going to win this. These Edomites are behind this man because the Most High is behind Nero. And he's going to put this man, and when this man gets in the office, all hell's going to break loose. All hell's going to break loose. This is the book of Jeremiah 30:7. The book of Jeremiah 30:7. It says, "At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Right? And that's more hope, because the he that's going to be saved out of Jacob's trouble is the elect of Israel. The Lord willing, with some of those men and women, you know, that believe and fear Yahweh Shem Shai. Right? That day is great. You know, that day of great judgment. Matter of fact, let me read up, because we always read this. Let me read up a little bit. Verse 5, "For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace." There's no peace coming to this country. No peace coming to this place. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Right? Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. Is even time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And we know that Jacob's trouble is going to precede the destruction, the nuclear destruction of this place during the third World War. That's why the Spirit jumped on Elder Apostle Tahar to name this year, the hopeful year, Jacob's trouble. And all the things and measures are being set up, including the leadership that will implement it. Okay? Now, from this article I read down here, I just want to glean over a couple of things from the article. It says, what emerged in 2 interviews with Trump and a conversation with more than a dozen of his closest advisors and confidants were the outlines of an imperial presidency, because this man, he sees himself as a king, you know, and now he got, you know, so-called attempted to be taken out. That bolstered his fame, that bolstered his lord, right? And it says where the outlines of his imperial presidency that will reshape America and its role in the world, to carry out a deportation operation designed to remove more than 11 million people from the country. Trump told me he would be willing to build migrant detention camps to deploy the U.S. military, both at the border and inland. So this man, that's martial law. And the apostles and the bishop elders been telling us for years, man, you know, well over decades, that, you know, concentration camps are going to be set up in this country. They call them migration camps, but it ain't just going to be so-called migrants in them camps. It's going to be a lot of you jakes, because his policies are not aimed at Edomite or so-called European migrants. His policies are not aimed at so-called Chinese migrants. His policies are not even at the Hamitic migrants. It's really at you jakes. And whenever you look up immigration, it's always you so-called Latinos who are the face of immigration, right? So it says, so yeah, detention camps come in. They call them concentration camps. You call them detention camps. It's the same thing. And he's talking about bringing a guillotine back as well, both the border and inland. He would let red states monitor the women's pregnancy and prosecute those who violate abortion bans. He would, at his personal discretion, withhold funds appropriated by Congress, according to top advisors. He would be willing to fire the U.S. attorney who doesn't carry out his order to prosecute someone, breaking with a tradition of independent law enforcement that dates from America's founding. He is weighing pardons for every one of his supporters accused of attacking the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, more than 800 of whom have pleaded guilty or been convicted by jury. He might not come to the aid of an attacked ally in Europe or Asia if he felt the country wasn't paying enough for its own defense. Right? He would gut the U.S. Civil Service, deploy the National Guard to American cities as he sees fit. And this is all precursors to the judgment that's coming to this place, man. It says, this is 2 Ezra 16 and 72. I'll start at 70. All right. It says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Right. These different troops, these UN troops, these American troops, the National Guards, all of that. They're going to be rolling on Jake. Right. And it says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So this man, they're going to come into these cities and they ain't playing. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses, man. And they already have laws on the book, policies on the books to do these things. All right? And this is what would let you know it's going to happen. Real quick, this is the book of 2 Ezra chapter 15. I'll start at 14. Okay? It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. You're going to have people, different races fighting each other. You're going to have different political groups fighting each other. You're going to have poor and rich. All of that. It's going to be complete mayhem in this country, whether this dude win or lose. For there shall be a sedition among men, and invading one another. Sedition means speech to incite to go against the authority. All right? Let me read that in the definition. Conduct of speech inciting people to rebel against the authority, the state, or the monarch. Right? For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power, man. So they're not going to be listening to their rulers, their governors, their mayors, shit, even the president. It's going to get crazy out here, lawless out here. So let's go back to chapter 16, verse 73. Okay? It's going to get wild out here. And his draconian measures are coming. Then shall they be, verse 73, then shall they be known of who, 2 Ezra 16:73, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire, right? Because the Lord's elect are going to survive this, right? The Lord elect is going to be brought through this, all right? And his measures, Nero's measures, these are real, bro. These are extremely real. See, a lot of people, they don't know what Kamala Harris is, they don't understand or know what Kamala Harris' policy is. You got a lot of these black bitches and these Edomite women, especially those Greek organizations, they're getting together and they're all on social media talking about what they're going to do when inauguration come, her strolling and all this other shit. Nah, bruh. They don't know any of her policies, man. And they're the same as Trump's. They're the same as Biden's and everybody else because they're the same coin, right? But they galvanizing you women's votes just because she's a woman and just because she claimed to be a so-called black woman. That ain't it, Chief. These Edomites, they getting with this dude because his policies are clear. He wants to take over. And he wants to make this thing an imperial thing. And he wants to bring hell on the people that these Edomites hate the most, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Real talk. They got something called Project 2025, right? And in it has, I'm at the education research portion. It's going to affect you Jakes. It says a federal fund worth $18 billion for low-income students, Title I of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965 would be allowed to expire, and those responsibilities would devolve to the states. Public funds for education will be available as school vouchers with no strings attached, even for parents sending their children to private and religious schools. Cuts would be made for the funding of free school meals. And who gets that? You Jakes. The Head Start program, who's in that? You Jakes. Program that provides service to children of low-income families, right, would be eliminated, right? For the project's backers, education is a private rather than a public good. Project 2025 criticizes any programs to forgive student loans, man. So yeah, this draconian measures are coming under this guy. Trump's going to usher in Jacob's trouble. And that's what I got from this article. I'm going to post the article in the description box so you can read through it yourself It's pretty lengthy, but I'm telling you, this is the man. This is the man. This guy right here, Trump, is the one that's going to usher in Jake's trouble. And it's going to be a hardcore year in 2025, 2026. Best believe something's going to happen. I don't know what, I don't know how, but I know it's not going to be good for you Jakes, man. It's not going to be good at all. Right? So let me say shalom on to the next.